Hey guys and gals, I'm Chris, aka ChristopherJMUA, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys all of my current monthly favorites and creating a full face of makeup using those products. So if you'd like to see my current favorites and the look I create using them, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. Let me give you guys a little disclaimer before I actually start getting into the products. When I say monthly favorites, I mean like this month, these are the products I love. That's not to say they released this month, because there's a lot of products that are kind of older that I'm gonna be using, but that doesn't take away the validity of my claim of them being my favorites. That being said, let's begin. The very first thing I like to do is prep my lips. My lips are kind of small, kind of on the thin side, so I like to let them be plumping while I'm working on my other makeup. And for that, I combine the Lottie London Oil Slick and the Buxom Plump Shot. I used the Buxom Plump Shot on its own for a long time, but I kept noticing that I kept getting uneven plumping. I would have like this side of my lip be bigger than this side of my lip, but I find that if I just dilute it a little bit with some oil beforehand, not only does it help nourish my lips a little bit more, but it also makes a cleaner line. P.S. I am an affiliate with some of the brands I'm using today, not most of them actually, but a few of them. So the ones that I do have an affiliate account with, I will leave listed down below. If you guys do make a purchase through the affiliate link, thank you so much because you're supporting this little YouTube channel. So thank you for that in advance. Okay, Plump Shot is on, and now our lips are prepped. The next and most important part of my makeup routine for myself and for any clients that I work on is primer. Skin, skin, skin. I like to start out with the Gerard Cosmetics Hydrating Facial Mist. It gives a little plumping to the skin, but it also helps me, especially since I like to tweeze right before I film videos. It helps alleviate some of that extra redness and just smooths out my complexion a little bit better before I go in with any other products. And just press it in everywhere. Then my all-time favorite pore-filling primer is the Winky. Oh God! Oh, the Winky. Oh God! Oh. Is the Winky Luxe Whipped Cream Primer. This stuff is like magic in a jar. It's sort of got this putty-like consistency. I actually think it starts out as a powder and then is mixed with something to give it this kind of chunky appearance. I don't know that, but I think that's why it looks so smooth once it's applied and why it sort of gives a little bit of a mattified finish. But this stuff makes pores just disappear completely. I love using it on my nose, and I'm very porous right here at the center of my cheeks and on my forehead right above my brows on both sides. And for those of you that aren't aware, I'm a tad excessive, so the method that I like to use to apply this and like blend it in and everything is using a palette knife and essentially just swiping over where the primer is, and that makes it where it fills the pores nicely and it picks up the excess product, but without leaving a whole bunch behind. It's just like spackling drywall though. You know, you put a hole in your drywall, you fill it with your spackle, then you scrape off the excess. That's exactly what I'm doing on my face. Now that the pores are filled, I can take the excess product and mix it with the hydrating facial spray from Gerard Cosmetics all over the face. I gotta get this hair off my forehead. And I have 1,000,001 hair clips, but I can't seem to find any of them. Oh my God, I need a haircut. But good news, I'll be getting a haircut on Tuesday, which might be today. It's actually Monday for me, but this video might be uploaded on Tuesday. And I had a friend pick out some colors from Lime Crime and their hair color selection. And I was like, don't tell me what you pick. Just pick something. I don't want to have any idea until we go to order it. You choose the color story. And he chose black and pink. So I will have black and pink hair after Tuesday, after today, for you, maybe, if everything works out as planned. Okay. Hair is back and out of my face. Now I like to use the best combo in the world for skin plumping and hydration. The Bobbi Brown Vitamin Rich Face Base and the Bobbi Brown Ultra Repair Under Eye Cream, I think is what it's called. I only have the sample, but I have been living off of this sample for like 3 months now, and I love it. It helps my under eye creasiness so much, plumps the skin under the eyes, makes those really tight crow's feet not so tight, if you know what I mean. And I like to start with the cream right on the center where my big 11 is, also the forehead lines, and then the leftover goes here for those crow's feet. I just noticed I got really red right here and here, and I have no idea why. That's strange. Oh well, moving on. Now for the under eye cream. And anytime you guys apply anything to your under eyes, it doesn't matter what it is, try to just use your ring fingers to apply it. That skin under your eyes is so sensitive. It's so soft, and it's the thinnest skin on your body. So try to be very gentle. The more you stretch it and pull it, the worse your lines are gonna be, the more it's gonna sag as you go. And gravity does enough of that by itself. And finally, my last step for primer is this Rodial Soft Focus Glow Drops. I got these in some subscription box. I don't remember which one because there's so many that we unbox monthly that I can't keep up with all the products in each one. Just the type of glow that it gives the skin is not shimmery and it's not overly dewy. It's just sort of wet enough to give you that lit from within sort of glow, and I like that kind of glow. And now just blend in. I mean, just to look at that glow. Now for foundation, I was trying to think of all of my foundations and all of the formulas and all of the different wear time tests that we've done, and I kept going back to one, and it's the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. It's just my favorite right now, but I have so many foundations that I kind of cycle between, but at this point in time, this one is definitely my favorite for myself and for clients. And starting down the center of my face, I apply it and pull it outwards. Oh, that's cute. Oh, yummy. I am a snack and a half. Oh yes. Just look at that foundation. Now for concealer, you guys might recognize this from TikTok. It has definitely been going viral. It's another Winky Luxe product. It's the Peeper Perfect Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer. And when they say full coverage, they mean full coverage. That's actually too much, but you know what? We're going for it anyway. Man, my hands are super shaky today. And I know it's because whenever Mark and I went to IHOP to eat breakfast, I had a cup of coffee. And you guys, I haven't had an energy shot, like a 5-hour energy shot, in like 6 days or something. And I've had one every morning for the past 3 years. So that's a big step for me. I mean, now I haven't smoked a cigarette in like 3 weeks-ish and no energy shots for a little while, but that cup of coffee, I really felt it. I mean, it was like very intense on the energy. Mark was getting annoyed because I started singing the Crazy. I was crazy once. They put me in a room, a rubber room with rats. I hate rats. They make me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They put me in a room. You know that thing? And it repeats over and over again. By the time I got to like the 6th verse, Mark was like, babe, stop. I was like, why? Am I annoying you? Then he told me if that's how I was gonna act whenever I had coffee, I wasn't gonna get any more coffee. So I just used the Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand. This is in the shade Alight. It's the perfect shade to give me just a little bit of a highlight, but it still looks very concealery. So it kind of gives a little bit of coverage, but also a little bit of that lit from within glow. So I just like to add it on top of concealer. This makes a really nice, natural effect. Now we've had the talk on moderation. We know that I'm not good at it. And on that point, I like to undercolor before I use my powder products, meaning I like to go in with cream products to give my face dimension and color and then set everything, then go in with my powder products. I just find that it gives me a more polished, finished look. Just know that the methods that I use are strictly for me. You don't have to do anything this way. This is just what I like. So I like to start with the Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. It's pretty much like the Hoola bronzer powder, but in a little stick cream form instead. And I just use it around the normal sort of contouring spots. Around the forehead line, down the nose. My God, I'm so shaky. Is that a straight line? I don't think that's a straight line. It's about as straight as I am, I guess. And before I put on any other product, I blend this. Make sure that temple gets nice and deepened. And then for the cheekbone, I start at the bottom and blend only upward, never ever downward. And just like that, we have dimension, a little bit of depth, and sort of a guideline to follow with powder bronzer. Then after cleaning off my brush on a paper towel, just trying to get the majority of the bronzer off, I'm gonna use the Colourpop Blush Stix. This one's in the shade -0. This shade is pretty perfect for under blushing because it's a pretty neutral color, so you can just about use any other color with it. Hence why I like it so much. Just the formula of these blush sticks are so beautiful. They just melt into the skin. They give just enough pigment to give you a nice wash of color, or you can really build it up and make it an intense wash of color. But when I'm underpainting, I do not want super intense blush. That's the job of the powder blush on top. And again, I'm cleaning off the same brush I've been using. This is like one of my favorite brushes for cream products. Just the angle is so nice. What is this? Oh, it's a BoxyCharm brush. I didn't even realize that. But there's a ton of brushes you can get like this. They kind of resemble the Artiste brushes, sort of, except the Artiste brushes go off to the side instead of the top. And for a little bit of highlighter, I like to use the BB Plus Illumination Facial Cream from Gerard Cosmetics. This is the shade Grace. It's also my favorite color highlighter from them. But you can use this in so many different ways. You can mix it with a primer and put it all over your face to give you that lit from within glow. It has more of the metallic kind of finish though, so it's really an intense glow. Hence why I prefer using it, currently anyway, as just sort of a peak on the highlights. Just helps define those areas of the face that you want a little more lift, a little more glow to. So for me, that's the high points of my cheekbones. I try not to do too much with this step because I'm really bad at moderation. I don't know how many times I gotta tell you guys. But see, even just a little bit goes a long way. Now we gotta lock everything in. I personally use a loose setting powder every single time under my eyes and then a pressed powder everywhere else. I've got normal leaning dry skin, so if I use a loose powder everywhere, it makes me flaky and I get dry patches and it's just not a cute look. So for loose powder, I prefer anything with a little bit of a glow. My favorite lately has been the Jeffree Cosmetics Luminess Magic Star setting powder in the shade Translucent. I've also tried all of his other loose powders that have a tint to them and I enjoy them, but I just keep reaching back for the translucent one because it gives my under eyes such a beautiful glow and it sets them and reflects light so that my darkness pretty much disappears and I don't have to worry about trying to match the shade under my eyes with another powder. Now we make our stretch face, hold our stretch face, hold it, and we set. And release. Now we're gonna pop her in the oven at 350 for 15 minutes, and when we come back, she'll be nice and baked, golden brown. Now for the setting powder for the rest of my face, I use this every single time, the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Setting Powder. And when they say waterproof, they mean waterproof. Once you set your face and you lock this stuff in, you're pretty much splash proof. It's not submergible, I know that for a fact, but splash proof it is. Face is set. I definitely need to brush this off. It's been baking for quite long enough. I am done. At this point, I really could call it quits and just move on to the eyes and be done, but that's not extra. So we're gonna use my favorite ever face palette. It's the Midas Cosmetics X Neon MUA face palette. This is the noon version. They have dawn, dusk, noon, and night, maybe? I don't remember what the last one is called, but it's a face palette for every single skin tone. You have face palettes with range, crazy. And it makes me so sad that Midas Cosmetics is going out of business. They will be no more very soon. So if you want one of these face palettes, jump on it while you have the chance because you won't very, very soon. Now I'm clearly very, very bronzed, so I don't use the bronzer from this palette when I go in with a cream bronzer, but I do use the contour right here. So I'm gonna take just a little bit and go to the points of my face that are the furthest back that I want to recede the most, and just hollow out that jawline and the forehead in the deepest corners. See how it adds just a little bit more depth? Not a lot, but it's just enough for me to be happy with it. You know, I really don't even have to worry about forehead bronzer and contour. I don't know why I am, because I'm wearing my hair down today, but I haven't worn my hair down with bangs since like middle school, so I'm not used to it yet. Then using the blush from the same palette. And finally, the highlighter. And that is it for the face, aside from setting spray. And for setting spray, this is yet another tried and true. I love it. This is like my third bottle. It's the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Setting Spray. This is in the scent Watermelon. I'm always torn between a watermelon, mint chocolate chip, and dreamsicle. Oh, dreamsicle. But I think watermelon's my favorite. If you know me, you know watermelon anything is my vibe. I smell like a Jolly Rancher. Before I can finally let my hair fly free, let's finish off these brows so I can actually let my bangs down and not be afraid that I'm gonna cover them in products. For brows, I always, every single time I do my makeup, unless I'm trying to focus on other brow products, use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Gel. This formula combined with this applicator, well, let me see if I can get any out of it because I might have used it all, but the combination of the applicator and the formula are just perfect to do your brows with one single product. So I take the tip of the spoolie with all the extra product on it, and close to the tail of my brow, I place all of that product down, spin the brush so it gets the extra stuff off, and I work on my tail before any other part of my brow. Using the tip of the spoolie, I drag the product up, make the clean line of my arch at the top, and then do the same thing all the way down and pull it out so I get a nice sharp end, just like that. Then with the remainder product that's on the spoolie, I just pull it all the way through, make sure I get everything tinted really well first. Then at the top, I bring that color up a little bit so it makes a solid shape. Okay, and once the shape is done, flip it over and start pulling all of the remaining product onto the brow hairs and pulling them the opposite direction. Pulling them the opposite direction. However, sometimes I like a little bit more oomph in my brow. Using the Urban Decay Brow Blade, only the ink side, which is that side. Now with the ink stain side, I go right in the front because that's where my hair is a little bit more sparse. You can't quite see it as much, and just draw some upward strokes. And if I run into any problems with it looking a little too goopy, like it kind of does right there in the center, just take a spoolie, a clean spoolie, and just sort of buff that color out and up. And now it's not nearly as intense as it was in that inner portion. Now, as Manny MUA would say, we're back and the brows are filled. What does he do? Back and the brows are filled. Back. Anyway, that's his, not mine. Now we get to move on to eyes. And for eyes, of course, eye primer to begin with. Again, hands down favorite, Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base. This one's in the shade medium, but I love all the shades. They just cover up my eye pigmentation and texture so well. It makes eyeshadow so smooth and pigmented when it goes on. I just love it. And also when it comes to eyeshadow, I had the hardest time figuring out which eyeshadow palette I was gonna choose as my monthly favorite because my preferences for eyeshadow change according to my mood. Sometimes I'm in the mood for neutrals and I have a favorite neutrals palette. Sometimes I'm in the mood for bright colors and I have a preference for that. Sometimes I like pastels. Sometimes I just want metallics, etc., etc. But today I chose the palette that I figured would go best with what I like to choose for clients all the time, like favorite, easy to use, consistent results, and that is the Scott Barnes Snatchral palette, Snatchral number 1. So let's get these lids primed. Now with this clean canvas, it takes the tiniest amount. What discoloration? I don't see any discoloration. And for the remainder of the base, just gonna blend out the edges, sort of buffing it. That way it blends into everything else seamlessly and there's no hard edge. I'm gonna start with this vintage shade right in the center here and literally just start filling the crease. Then using a wider brush for the deeper shade, I'm gonna take Foxy, because Foxy just looks foxy today. And this one's gonna start to be my deepening shade in the innermost portion of the crease. So pretty much my darkest color, aside from the black-ish color I'm gonna use to buff across the lash line. Now that I've got the bulk of the darkness applied above where my crease naturally falls, I'm gonna go ahead and buff out that edge so it's not so intense, just to make it look a little more fluffy, if you will. Smoky, if you will. Blown out, if you will. I have no idea what shimmer. You know what? Silver screen. We're going in with silver screen. Boop, 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 boop. That's gorgeous. Now for brow bone and inner corner, we're gonna stick with the laced shade. You know, tried and true. It's what I'm used to, it's what I know, it's what I like, so we're gonna use that. So we pretty much finished with the eyeshadow now. I'm still gonna use the dark shade to buff out my lash line, but before I do that, I wanna make sure that I have something creamy and tacky to put the eyeshadow on top of. I'm also gonna be using the same eyeliner in my waterline, and for today, that is the One Size Point Made Bodacious Black Eyeliner. This is one of the best eyeliners I've used in quite a while, I'll say, because of the longevity. It goes on super smooth and really, really creamy, but once it dries down, it is there for life. I mean, not really for life, but it's there for a long time. I don't really feel like I could substantiate the 24-hour claim that it gives, but I can for sure say it lasts at least 9 hours without budging. Now bear with me for just a second. I am gonna have to use the standing mirror and lean into it to do this, just so I can see. But you should still be able to see from your side, I think. Moment of truth for the lid. I'm gonna try to take just the point of the liner and run it straight across my lash line. Now I'm gonna use this teeny tiny Artis Elite Linear 1 brush and buff this liner out, but only across the lash line. I'm not gonna pull it out, make any kind of wing or anything. I'm just gonna make it give me fuller, fluffier looking lashes without actually doing anything to the lashes yet. I went ahead and curled my lashes off camera, so now let's move on to mascara and lashes. I mean, like, false lashes. So mascara, I know this is so bougie and it's so unnecessary, but I have so been loving the Christian Louboutin Ye Le Noir mascara. It's just so natural looking, but it still gives the lashes that oomph that you would hope for. And it's amazing to use by itself, but it's even better to use with other lashes because it makes your lashes phenomenal. Then you add other lashes on top and it's even better. And speaking of other lashes on top, these are from Lavender Boutique and they are the Vonetia style. I cut them a little bit shorter than what they originally come. They're pretty long when they come in initially, but I shortened them just enough to where it gives me a little more lift on the outside and stays pretty short on the inner portion. It just gives sort of that lifted doughy pixie sort of effect, and I really like that. They're not very clean right now, but you can see the general vibe of them. They are really, really pretty. I just wanted to go ahead and show you both the mascara and the lashes because my process to put them on is pretty seamless in between the two. I like to mush my falsies into my own lashes while my mascara is still a little bit tacky, so they blend really well. So there's really not any time to pause in the middle. And since I buffed out that eyeliner on my lash line, I don't have to worry about my band showing because it should blend in with the black on the lash line. Okay, I believe we are to the point of tackiness that is appropriate for lashes to stick. Yes, see, it's so flirty, but it's just on that outer corner, just adds that little pop, that little lift. That is so sexy. And just like that, what lash band? I don't see one. Okay, time to finish off this look. And our very last step is lips. For lips, I've chosen everything Gerard Cosmetics. P.S. I didn't tell you yet, but use code ChristopherJMUA to save 30% on any Gerard Cosmetics purchase. For lip liner, we're using the shade Sugar and Spice. It's a really pretty, nudie, really natural looking shade. But first, my lips are looking crusty and dusty. Why didn't anybody tell me? Here I am sitting here with concealer lips. You guys just laughing at me behind my back. I thought you were my friends. At least laugh at me to my face. And last but certainly not least, we've got lipstick. Again, these are Gerard Cosmetics. I've got two shades here, Rodeo Drive and Between the Sheets. Rodeo Drive is my overall lip color, and then Between the Sheets is more of the highlighting shade. And there we have it, a natural, wearable ombre lip. One last time with the Lottie London Oil Slick. I do really like the cream look of a bullet lipstick. I think it's a gorgeous finish, but I'm feeling a little extra glossy today. That completes the look using all of my favorite products for the month of May. And what do you guys think of the look? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on my favorites for this month. Did I use anything that's also your favorite, or do you just absolutely hate anything that I used? Let's talk about it in the comments. You guys know that I'm always hanging out down there with you, just chilling, just talking, so let's talk. If you did enjoy going through all of my monthly favorites with me, don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down there and hit the little notification bell right beside subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. Videos like monthly favorites, challenges, first impressions, reviews, do a lot of those. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, then please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye!